Okay, this is my channel Home Game. This is where I speak nerdy stuff into the ether, and if anybody wants to listen, even the better. A friend of mine or gamer pal of mine, however he wants to present himself, uh, reminded me that I haven't shot a video in a while, and I said, "You're right. There is this humble bundle though that I was looking at. So why don't we pick that up and talk about it?" Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle on the web page for that. Here we go. This Humble Bundle is $25. You get 73 books. It's up for another 6 days at the time of the recording. And it's got a bunch of neat stuff in it. It has a number of DM tools, it has some monster books, it has the Splinter of Faith campaign setting, it has the Necropolis campaign setting, just a bunch of little adventures. It has some stuff from Luke Gygax. It has Kobold Press. Nerdarchy is represented in here. So, got some treasure books. Yeah. It has the prepared books, which is, I believe it's 12 one shots. Yeah, a dozen adventures for 5th edition. So they're little things you can kind of drop into the middle of your adventures. But there are a few things in here that caught my eye. All of uh, the random chart books, of course. I couldn't. I probably have a lifetime's worth of random chart books. I probably don't need to buy anymore. But these prepared books on Amazon for the hard copies are $15 a piece. This, this one, and this one. So you get both of them in digital format and map packs for them. So you can upload that to whatever VTT you like for $25. And then you get, 70 or 69 other resources that you can pull from. So the price on Humble Bundles always surprises me with how much content you can get for such a low price. And I'm always looking for a deal. um, I'm always looking for like the do it yourself DM stuff. Like what can I take that's meant for something else and use for the game. But for $25, you can't beat that for all of this content. And I don't get into the Egyptian theme much, but there's quite a few of those in here to fill out that world. It looks like, and a VTT pack. Layers, I like that. 12 Peculiar Towers caught my eye, but the prepared books caught my eye. Let's see, the Beware the Yule Cat. There's a adventure here called Beware the Yule Cat, and I was looking for a holiday themed one shot. And Beware the Yule Cat seems to catch touch all the bases for me right here because it's kind of like it's a Norse theme. It has the Yule Cat as Gryla. It has the Yule Lads, which if you're unfamiliar with the Yule Lads, or look them up. It's mythology. Look it up because they're all. First time I saw it, I thought it was really funny. Um, See Luke Gygax has some stuff in here. Nerdarchy, Kobold Press. So there's some established people in here. But 70. Oh, here's another thing that caught my eye. One-on-one uh, adventure or inspiration, how to, where you can just have a DM and one other person. I'm interested to see how they handle that. That caught my eye. There's also a Into the Unknown is a solo adventure. Um, so that would be interesting to thumb through and see. So let me bring up the PDFs for a couple of these because there's a couple of interesting points I'd like to mention. Where is it? It's not popping up for some reason. Let's see. There it is. Okay, here's a wandering monster book that you can get with this. And the table of contents isn't just a table of contents, it has hot links to the appropriate page. So if I click on dungeon, it's going to bring up a random dungeon chart. And inside this random dungeon chart it looks like a D10 random roll, and a D6 within each of those, a random roll. So if I roll like a 2 on a D10 and a 4 on, that's a little, we'll go to it anyway. 4 on a D6, it brings you to the Goblin Scouts encounter. And it gives you a little blurb ahead of time to kind of set the mood. So it says, whispering back and forth in their harsh tongue, they lope towards you, their pointed faces scowling. And then you can roll on a D6, or you can just pick the CR you want to. Or you can roll on this D6 chart to see how many goblins are there, what kinds of goblins are there. And these page numbers here reference the 2014 monster manual for Dungeons and Dragons. So they obviously can't hot link you to that, and they're not going to list every monster again in the book. But if you pull out your Dungeons and Dragons monster manual, that's the page you would find the information for the goblins on. So, like I said, the little blurb before you get started is nice, and you don't see that a whole lot in random encounter books, from what I've seen. So I believe is this a Nerdarchy? I can't. I don't know. Let's see. See if it shows. Nord Games. Oh, Nord Games put this out. Anyway, there's a few in here that are just like this with hot links that I thought were really slick. Here's one for Critical Role tables. So if you pull up the sidebar, you can just go straight to critical hit effects for GMs. So if a monster that the GM is running rolls a nat 20, these are effects that could go off. And you can dial these back a bit and just say, hey, I don't want to roll a d10 because I don't want a deadly attack. So I don't want this d20 roll from my monster that randomly hit to be deadly vicious. I just kind of want it. So you can roll a d10, divide by 2 if you want. You could roll a d6, say, okay, it's dangerous and below. I mean, if you have a d5, I definitely have a d5 laying around. You could even pull out your d5 and just say, okay, I only wanted to go up to like mid-level dangerous or 2/3 dangerous and only roll on half this table. Let's look at life-threatening. Let's look at a life-threatening option. So a monster made an attack. It's either slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, or magic, the attack. If it's slashing and they rolled a 20 on their attack roll, it says something slipped, quadruple damage, and your AC is reduced by 1d8 for 1d8 rounds. Wow, that's pretty devastating. So So the sword that the monster attacked with, or the axe, or whatever slashing weapon you're using, does quadruple damage instead of double damage, and the AC. Is this the monster's AC? No, this has to be like your player. So the player's AC goes down by 1d8 for 1d8 rounds. That's crazy bad. And that's not even the deadly, that's just the dangerous. That's just the dangerous. Or that's life threatening. So, I mean, that would be life threatening for sure. Let's look at the critical fail chart because everybody likes critical fail charts thrown into the game. So you have for critical fails, your categories for severity are awkward, embarrassing, shameful, or disgraceful. Let's look at embarrassing. I feel like those would be funny. So if you critically fail, you can roll on one of these charts, and the the embarrassing level, table 41. If you make a melee attack, you roll a 1, you get a cramp. You deal half damage for 1d4 plus 1 rounds. Wow. So if you critically fail one attack and you roll this, it says you get a cramp, which causes your damage to reduce by half for 1d4 plus 1 rounds. That's interesting. Neutral, if your attack type is neutral, your stance could use work. If this attack was made with a limb, roll a DC 14 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, you fall prone. Wow, this one ranged. If it's a ranged attack, it says poor sport. The target taunts you. Make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, you have disadvantage when attacking this target until you successfully hit it. These things could drastically change the flow of battle. I know some people who really like them. I play with a group that had a when I came in and decided to DM a game, they had a critical fail table that they liked using. So I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. They just liked rolling the extra dice to see what happened. Bad luck effects. When a player rolls a 1 on any d20 roll, roll a d6 and d10 to select bad luck effects. Yeah, I don't know how often I would use that. But these are just little things to add fun to your game if that's what you like. Like I said, I love that I can just come over to the sidebar, say, "Hey, I want some critical hit effects." Come over here and hot link directly to the area. It just saves a bunch of time. Like if I just had this book at the DM table, it would I'd kill 3 minutes trying to find the effect, but having it in the PDF form, if I'm playing online, which most people are these days, a lot of people are these days, then it's super easy to use something like this. Into the Unknown is a solo adventure that comes with the pack. I haven't read it. Um, I'd be interested to see how they handle some of the challenges with solo play. Um, like I've read some solo play things which they end up just being journals, or monsters have programmed movement, that kind of thing, and it just becomes like a lot of referencing to try and figure out what happens. So I'd be interested to see how they handle it. But if you've never played a solo game, there are many reasons to buy this bundle, and if you want to experiment with a solo play game, it's in here for you. I mean, the maps look good. Little the artwork's a little abstract here. Like it's pretty base. Well, that looks pretty good. Yeah, some of the artwork's a tiny bit washed out, but that might just be their style. But some of it's really detailed and really good. So yeah, I'd be interested in thumbing through this just to see how they handle the challenges of solo play. Here's playing one on one. So this is like just a GM and one other person. The tabs and everything in these are done well. A lot of sometimes you get PDFs, and I've gotten quite a few PDFs. The artwork looks nice. I've gotten quite a few PDFs where it's just one big document with no tabs set for you. So when they make the extra effort to set your tabs and give you real good jumping points, gotta appreciate that. Um, I've seen one-on-one play before, and it wasn't really one-on-one because the player has two characters, or one character and three minions to go with them. So I'd like to see how they actually describe how to handle one-on-one play. But this would be good, especially if it's just you and a friend that want to get into role playing games and you've never played before. This might be good to start with instead of jumping into D&D where they kind of expect you to have four players. This one I didn't even realize was in here when I bought it. Zoo Mafia. It's its own RPG. I think Nerdarchy put it out. Yeah, Nerdarchy put it out. It's a role playing game about being a zoo animal, committing crimes, and not letting the humans catch on that you are more than just a zoo animal. So the GM is called a zookeeper, and everybody else is animals in the zoo, uh, committing crimes, apparently. So you're like a secret zoo mafia. I can't say that, like, seeing this makes me want to play it right away, but some of the pictures do look pretty good. But I mean, if you want to play a silly RPG, this is the quick start guide for it. If you think this is interesting, I guess you could track down the rest of it. I haven't looked around at all, but and I don't know how lightweight it is. I saw that it has guns in it. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is something you could start your kids off with. I don't know. Depends how you are with guns in your household, I suppose. Um, I mean, I guess it's no better than shooting people with bows and arrows. So, and this was one of the selling points for me picking this up. Like I said, it's it's got a pretty heavy Norse theme. After I bought it and opened it up, I wasn't disappointed. It looks pretty great. There's your town map. It's one of the Yule lads dumping milk on someone. Another Yule ad hitting someone with a spoon. The Yule cat. I'm looking forward to running this. I'm probably going to try to run it using the Cairn system because I think the estimated play hours was like 16 hours on this, and I want to run a one shot. I think the Cairn system may help me speed it up. And with one shots, a rules light system would be pretty okay. When I do a one shot, I kind of try to keep everything loosey anyway. So even if we were using fifth edition rules, I would I would still be real loose with the rules to begin with and let people have fun doing whatever. Not we would still follow most of them, but you let them stretch a little bit when you're running a one shot, so you don't have to worry about continuity or anything. Okay, so yeah, that's the humble bundle. It ends in 6 days. The five the fifth edition mega bundle has Gygax, Kobold Press, and it says then friends. But like I said, if you get into Egyptian theme, this has a great looking Egyptian adventure in it. Price is right as always. The $15 mark seems to like it. It still kind of had a bunch of the stuff I wanted. Like it had the Yule Cat adventure, the fungus god from outer space, which I have no idea what it's about, but the title caught my eye. The prepared series that I wanted. It seems like the Egyptian theme adventure disappears. The only thing they give you is they give you the character sheet. That's it. The rest of it's gone. Um, and a lot of the random chart books are gone. 12 Peculiar Towers is still in here, and that's one of the ones that I kind of wanted to read through. I like anthology stuff, so like uh, any anthology books D&D puts out, I pick up. Tales from the Golden Vault, the Candlekeep book. I pick those up, but I mean, for $15, there's still a decent amount of stuff in here. It's much less. It's 35 items instead of 73, I believe. Yeah, but there's still some good stuff in here if all you want to pay is $15. So the next video I'll probably make, I'm going to talk about budget dice. I was trying to find the cheapest dice I could find, um, and I want to talk about kind of a cheat. Uh, there's there's a there's a kit that I see often at like resale shops that I think if you're just getting started as a DM, this thing gets you a bunch of tools for pretty cheap. And I'm always looking for the cheap alternative to do the same thing. So I'll add that in there too at the end. Um, so if you find, hopefully you found some of this helpful, and if you stuck around, thanks for listening. See you next week, hopefully. Bye.